In this video, we're going to take a look at one very specific task in CoSpaces. We are going to show how you make a character move around on the platform. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Library. I'm just going to grab a random character, and I'll just make him a little bit bigger right here. And one of the things that you can do when you double click on any character is there's some basic stuff that you can select. For example, under animation, I can have this character walk. All right. Now, that's great for him walking in that spot, but if I were to hit play, you would see that this character is just walking nowhere. He's walking in place. And so in order to actually make the character walk around, I have to pull in under this special section under Library a path. And so I'm going to go grab this path as an example. And I might take it, maybe I want him to go on a very specific circular path. Let's see here, I'm going to click again so I get the little points that I want here. And I'm just kind of spreading them out. Okay, so once I have a path out for this character, if I double click on the character, you'll see that there's an option to attach. And so when I click attach, it highlights the different points on that path. And so I can just pick one as an example. And now he's ready to move, but in order for him to actually start going, we've got to do some coding. So I'm going to double click on him. I'm going to activate coding right there. So now we can use the CoBlocks coding language on him. And what that means is I can now click on this code section up here in the top right, and it brings up an entire area for block-based coding. These are blocks that I can pull out onto my coding area here. And if you're familiar with Scratch or any other block-based coding language, or maybe if you've done an hour of code or something like that, this will all look pretty familiar. And even if not, it's really easy to get started. So I'm going to look through there's different categories here. And one of them is under an area called transform. And there are some different options here for transforming this character. So I'm going to come over and I'm going to select Move Casual Boy. His name is Casual Boy. You can change that in his, when you double click on him, you can change the name if you want to identify that. And as you bring more characters on the screen, you're going to want to identify them uniquely. It'll just help you to organize a little bit better. So we're going to move Casual Boy on path, round path. Now there would be more had I dropped more paths onto the platform, but there's only one right now, just called round path. So now this says move Casual Boy on the path in 5 seconds. So watch what happens. He's going to move around this entire circle in 5 seconds. Let's hit play. Okay, so we are able to make at least one thing happen there. We were able to get him to move along the path and then stop. And that's fine if that's what we want to do, but I think in most cases you probably want him to keep going. So under Control, there is a Forever block, and I can move that up there and move this inside so that Casual Boy will continue to move along the path within 5 seconds each rotation. Let's try that. All right, so now you can see Casual Boy is moving around, and he just keeps going on that path. Obviously, his steps are going very quickly. He's not stepping very fast, but he's going very fast. So I'm going to come back out, and I'm going to change this to something like maybe 30 seconds. And let's see how that looks. That's pretty good. And, you can dial in to see. It depends on what kind of effect you're going for and to make it as realistic as possible. I might make this one a little bit longer, maybe like 40 seconds or so. But for now, that looks pretty good. Now, the thing is, this is great for one character on the screen. But if you want to put more characters on the screen, you're going to have to do something else. So I'm going to close this for now. I'm going to go get a dog. I'll put this dog here. I'll make this dog a little bigger, like that. And maybe the dog is also going to go on its own path here. Let's try a square path. I can make the square path bigger. It's kind of strange that a dog will be going in an exact square, but that's okay. For purposes of this demonstration, it'll work just fine. So now I'm going to double click on him. I'm going to attach him to one of these. And I'm going to make sure that his CoBlocks setting is active. Okay, so I've got those two things in. Now if I go back to code, I will notice that when I go to transform something, there's going to be more than just casual boy here. Okay, so now there are other items like dog that I can begin to make things happen. So I'm going to move that over for a second, and I'm going to show you what happens in order to make two things happen at once. So there's a section under control here, run parallel. So this option under control means I want to do a few things at the same time. So I can come back and I'll bring another forever, put it right there. So you can kind of see when play is clicked, run these at the same time. We're going to have casual boy, and then we need to bring in another move. And this time we're going to pick dog, and he's not going to go on the round path, he's going to go on the square path. And let's make him do that in about, I don't know, 15 seconds or so. And casual boy, I think we mentioned that we were going to up his to about 40. Okay, let's play that and see how it looks. Okay, looks good, except that I didn't animate the dog. The dog's just going around without moving his legs or her legs. So let's go back in there. Let's double click on the dog, and under animation, we're going to say walk. All right, let's try that again. There we go. That looks pretty good. Okay, so I think you've seen here in this video pretty quickly how to animate and move characters on the screen using CoBlocks.